After retirement, many people find themselves facing a silence they never knew before. The rush of work has faded, and the days seem slower, leaving space for reflection, but also for doubt. This is where Stoicism becomes a companion, not as a cold philosophy, but as a warm reminder that peace is found inside us, not in what we do. Learning to see life from this calmer lens gives new meaning to the years ahead, especially when routines disappear and identity shifts. Stoicism teaches us that the measure of a good life is not in how much we achieve, but in how we meet each moment with grace and courage. When the noise of the world fades after retirement, many realize how dependent they were on external validation. Work, recognition, and responsibility once gave purpose, but without them, a void appears. Stoicism helps fill that void not by replacing it, but by helping us see that purpose is not something given, it is something chosen. Each day, we can choose to live with intention, to treat others with kindness, and to use our time wisely. This simple awareness can transform loneliness into freedom. The Stoics believed that happiness comes from living according to nature, which means accepting life as it is. After retirement, this lesson becomes even more powerful. The body changes, friends move away, routines shift, yet none of these need to disturb our peace if we learn to see them as part of the natural flow of existence. Instead of fighting the inevitable, we learn to float with it, to find beauty even in what fades. Many seniors struggle with the fear of becoming irrelevant, but Stoicism reminds us that value does not come from what others think of us, but from how we think of ourselves. Retirement offers the perfect time to strengthen this inner dialogue. When we replace comparison with gratitude, we rediscover the quiet dignity of being content with what we have. Every moment can be meaningful if we live it fully. Stoicism also teaches the art of controlling what we can and letting go of what we cannot. In retirement, this principle brings deep relief. We can no longer control how fast our bodies age, how the world changes, or how others behave. But we can control our response. We can choose calm instead of worry, understanding instead of resentment. This inner discipline is the foundation of true peace. Many retirees fear losing their sense of direction. Without work or structure, days can blend together. The Stoic way is to rebuild structure from within, creating small daily rituals, such as morning reflection or evening gratitude, can restore meaning and rhythm. Over time, these habits shape a strong inner foundation that no external change can shake. There is great wisdom in simplicity. As we age, possessions and complications no longer bring joy, they bring weight. The Stoic practice of minimalism helps seniors lighten their load. By focusing on what truly matters, relationships, kindness, and peace, we make space for serenity. A simple life is not an empty life, it is a free one. Retirement often brings more time with family, which can both heal and test our patience. Stoicism guides us to respond to conflicts with calm understanding. Instead of reacting, we pause and choose our words carefully. This habit of reflection can turn tension into harmony and deepen our relationships. The more we practice, the more peace we bring to our homes. Health challenges are another part of aging that test our resolve. The Stoics viewed the body as something to be cared for, but not worshipped. We can do our best to maintain health, but we must accept what we cannot change. This acceptance does not mean surrender but wisdom. It helps us focus on living fully within our limits, not resenting them. Many seniors carry regret for things left undone. Stoicism offers a gentle way to release that burden. The past cannot be changed, but it can be understood. By accepting it without judgment, we make room for peace in the present. Each new day becomes a chance to live better, wiser, and kinder than before. Loneliness can feel heavy in retirement, but Stoicism transforms solitude into self-discovery. When we stop fearing silence, we begin to hear ourselves clearly. Time alone becomes an opportunity to understand who we truly are. It teaches us that contentment does not come from company, but from inner balance. Aging also reveals the impermanence of all things, which the Stoics called the natural order. Everything that begins must end, including our own journey. This realization, rather than frightening us, can make life more precious. When we remember that each day is a gift, gratitude replaces fear. Financial security often worries retirees, but Stoic thinking offers a different kind of wealth. It is the wealth of contentment, of needing less rather than having more. When we measure life by sufficiency instead of abundance, we feel rich even with less. This mindset brings peace no money can buy. The Stoics often spoke of virtue as the highest goal, living with honesty, courage, and kindness. Retirement gives us time to reflect on these values. Each small act of goodness adds to a sense of fulfillment that achievements never could. Virtue gives meaning to our days long after titles and jobs fade. In retirement, every challenge becomes a lesson in resilience. When health falters or plans change, Stoicism reminds us to ask not why it happened, but how we can respond wisely. This mindset strengthens us, making us unshakable even in difficult times. As the years pass, we begin to see that control is mostly an illusion. Life has always been unpredictable, but now we are wise enough to accept that truth. The more we release the need to control, the lighter and freer we become. Peace follows naturally. Stoicism is not about denying emotions, but understanding them. Seniors who embrace this learn to feel deeply without being ruled by feelings. When sadness comes, they see it as temporary. When joy arrives, they savor it without clinging. This balance is emotional freedom. Each morning in retirement can be a new beginning. The Stoics encouraged starting every day with gratitude and purpose. A simple reflection such as "What can I control today?" can shift our mindset from anxiety to calm focus. Over time, these small practices create lasting strength. Many seniors rediscover the power of community through Stoic compassion. Helping others, sharing wisdom, or simply listening can bring a deep sense of connection. Service reminds us that we are still needed, still valuable, and still part of something greater. Retirement is not the end of purpose but the beginning of a deeper one. Stoicism shows that our final years can be our most meaningful if we live with awareness and integrity. Inner strength does not come from resisting change, but from embracing it. As we grow older, the pace of life naturally slows down, and that can be both a blessing and a challenge. Many seniors struggle to adjust after years of constant movement and responsibility. Stoicism teaches that stillness is not emptiness but clarity. It gives us the space to see our lives without distraction, to recognize what truly matters. When we learn to be at peace with the slower rhythm of life, we stop measuring our days by activity and start measuring them by awareness. That shift brings deep calm and lasting satisfaction. Retirement also brings an opportunity to heal old wounds. Stoic philosophy reminds us that forgiveness is not for others, but for ourselves. Holding on to resentment only ties us to pain. By letting go, we free our minds and hearts from the weight of the past. This healing process allows us to move forward with lightness, focusing on what can still be created instead of what has already gone. Peace begins the moment we stop fighting our own history. There is also the question of legacy, what we leave behind when we are gone. Stoicism encourages us to think not in terms of wealth or achievements, but in virtues and memories. How we treat others, how we face adversity, and how we live with dignity become our true legacy. When we live according to our principles, we inspire others long after we are gone. That kind of legacy cannot fade because it lives in the hearts of those we touched. The later years of life can be the most reflective and wise if we allow them to be. Stoicism helps seniors find meaning in every stage of aging by focusing on growth rather than decline. Each wrinkle carries a story, each scar a lesson, and each gray hair a reminder of resilience. When we view aging as a natural teacher instead of an enemy, we replace fear with appreciation. Life becomes a continuous journey of learning until the very end. In the golden years, every day offers a chance to practice gratitude. The Stoics taught that appreciation transforms even the simplest moments into treasures. A morning cup of coffee, the sound of birds, a conversation with a friend. These small joys remind us that contentment does not depend on wealth or youth, but on awareness. When we start and end each day with gratitude, we find beauty in ordinary life and peace in the present moment. This attitude turns aging from a loss into a celebration of all that remains. Many seniors discover that time itself becomes their greatest gift. With fewer obligations, there is space to slow down, reflect, and live fully. Stoicism for seniors is about serenity, the quiet joy that comes from knowing we have lived fully and wisely. It is not about perfection or never feeling pain, but about responding to life with understanding and compassion. When we practice acceptance, gratitude, and self-control, we build a kind of inner fortress that no storm can break. Retirement, then, becomes not the closing of a chapter, but the beginning of the most peaceful one yet. Thanks for watching. Remember, peace and strength are already within you. All you need to do is slow down, look inward, and live each day with wisdom and gratitude.